Welcome to another session of Endless Legend. Last time, we, as the Cultists, cleared out a lot of Green's empire and took their capital, which means we basically turned all of them into stockpiles. And we got the first stockpile upgrade, which I neglected in my previous playthrough, and we're looking forward to picking up the second stockpile upgrade really soon to really make those stockpiles, really make those stockpiles work for us. Now, this tier of upgrades, not that much we can get. We can pick up this cargo docks, but unfortunately we're not actually connected to the sea, or any sea to be honest. We're connected to some lake areas, which are nice for bonus dust, but otherwise unhelpful. We can pick up this for a bit of extra science on our cities. And I think that's probably the choice. Otherwise, we could go for Titan Bones Extractor, but only one resource we're getting from this, so it's not actually that good. These extractors are normally excellent on other factions, because you can get a bunch of regions, and you can pick regions with extractors. But since we're the Cultists, we only have one city, we can only really get one extractor. We could get more if we were using a lot of converted villages, but sadly we're not. And as you can see, you only get 0.2 for resource per converted villages. So we'd have to convert a ton of villages to make this work out for us, even as much as one city. We need 5 villages for the same impact as one city would have. So these extractors are really not a huge priority. We could pick up these weapons for later, where we can purchase them. Currently, I don't think we need it though. We could also skip straight ahead to Mithrite weapons, which is probably pretty viable because Mithrite seems to be relatively cheap. So I'm going to go for the fluid biomechanics. Yeah, we're going to get bonuses for terrain with sea or lake, which we have, and then bonus per on city, which we're also going for. I think I'm going to make a new army first of all. Form these two up, so we have 2 big archer armies. I probably want to pick more smoke houses up, actually, just to make sure that we have adequate food production. It's probably a bit better than Royal Academy. We could pick up more soldiers, but I don't know if that's really necessary. Let's make a new cavalry army. Well, we've amassed this cavalry army here. Fortunately, it looks like we're going to have to put a lot into dust production to stop us from going dust negative here, because of the siege. Yeah. Might as well. Now here we can pick up our empire plan. Sadly, getting trade route bonus is not really that valuable for our city. We're always on fervent because we have one city, so that's not easy. So we can just go for these actually. We can get bonus movement speed on our units, why not? And we're not buying out cities that much. Interesting, these upgrades for improved influence are not as strong on our faction because we don't need that much influence to get city empire-wide plans, as long as we're not getting a ton of low faction villages. By that point, we're going to want to produce a lot of influence anyways. So the question is, who do we attack with first? And I guess it has to be our hero army. Wait! Why don't we have our other army? That's weird. Why isn't this army participating? Alright. That's kind of strange. I didn't expect it to work that way. Well, we're learning a lot of this playthrough apparently. Especially about army engagements. And speaking of which, this is very bad terrain for us. We definitely want to make sure our armies are hit as little as possible. But we also don't want to blockade these spawning points either. We can move it like this. Yeah, I think we're forced into this. Now we're going to make this whole position. Make these whole position. We definitely want these disposable cavalry units to go and engage those cavalry units, just to slow them down. And then we want our archers to move back if at all possible. Yeah. They're disposable because they come from a minor faction village. They're not that good. As you can see, these archery units are still pretty insane. And I would have liked more to be in the battle, but sadly it appears that the rally didn't work as I thought it did. Yes, we got that one. That's great. So now we have, I think, enough time to move our archers back before... Oh, actually this demon is still in danger, so... So fortunately I picked up the talisman of our hero, meaning that our hero regenerates health now. Again, these cavalry units are not units I'm really worried about in terms of keeping them alive. What are these weapons here? They have infantry slayers, so those are swords. Gonna move this back, gonna move this unit forward if at all possible. And keep that unit... Actually we can move it there if we can. Oh, we don't know if we can. Annoyingly, this army is not joining in the fighting. I have no idea why. It makes so much sense for the army in the city to help us out here. But anyways, let's see if we can just launch this attack like this. Bounce these units back. And I do want them to attack, if possible, attack this guy, because it's most dangerous. Oh no, that's really bad. Looks like we're going to lose one archer. I mean, we have enough archers, it's not a huge deal. We'll definitely have enough for a 6 stack and probably an 8 stack in the future. Hopefully I can just critical this infantry unit. Okay, that was done with them. And annoyingly we have this cavalry unit stuck behind our armies. This happens a lot in this game. You just randomly get stuck or cornered. Yay! We didn't lose that archery unit, that's amazing. Now they'll slowly regenerate, I think. And there, we fired a few good shots. So I don't have that much to comment apart from archery is overpowered. So as long as you have some infantry or cavalry units to gum up the... Or maybe just any melee unit that's sturdy, actually. To gum up the grounds, you can just have your archers do a ton of work and slowly pick away at the enemy forces. Here we are fine using these cavalry units, they're not that high tier. Yeah, and as you can see, we're doing a ton of damage with these like incredible archer units. We're really making up for the fact that we don't have as much industry. Not just because we're in one city, but because we're not an AI, so we don't cheat on offense. So we don't have a ton of industry, sadly. We have... Whoa, that unit moved way further than I expected it to. It might die now. Unless they keep prioritizing the cavalry. No, never mind, it's gonna die. No, whoa. These units are really sturdy, actually. I don't even need something to come at the ground at this rate. I think I'm just going to rely on my Nameless One archers, just kill everything for me. Or Nameless God archers, actually. I think the Nameless ones are from... No, Faceless ones are from Warcraft. I can't actually remember. I know an unreasonable amount about Warcraft 3, because that was like basically my childhood. But that's kind of how I've gone to strategy games, actually. Just playing Warcraft 3 really casually as a kid. This talisman is really overpowered and is really doing a lot of work for us. See, we've taken down another 8-stack army without losing any important units. I mean, using these centaurs is like, well, we lost a bit of dust. We could have turned them into dust. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. There seems to be a powerful unit there. That looks like a good shield to me. I should have attacked the other one. But yeah, we're taking out that unit next. So we lost these centaurs, but that's fine. I'm just going to sell the rest. Hey, they actually sell for quite a lot of dust. Means we probably turned a profit on this village. Okay, that's just ready. Somehow, I don't know. I don't know how that army is contributing to the fight, but the other one wasn't. It's just very strange. I wanted to do that adamantium shields, maybe. think they might. I wasn't controlling this well, but it doesn't really matter. We're doing so well in terms of crushing this army that shouldn't be an issue. I keep saying that with sloppy control. So, I mean, despite making a bunch of army mistakes, this Nameless Guard core army has really done a lot of work for us and really kept me in this game. Despite everything, you know. Now, I do want to see about putting more pressure on green. Just make sure we crush green, our mortal enemy. And actually, I realized last time I should have gotten this pearl holding way sooner, because now it costs me more industry to make these stockpiles. That was definitely an error. I'm gonna get rid of it, but I can turn pearls into... I don't foresee myself really using the other pearl options, so I can definitely just turn pearls into extra food stockpiles. And since we're centered around our economy is quite centered around stockpiles, because whenever we destroy an enemy city, we get more industry and more science. This is mostly from a stockpile, I think. I think that's from stockpiles, yeah. I guess we'll just make sure this stays up for the next couple of turns. Once we've picked this up, we can definitely pick up the improved stockpiles and get even better stockpiles. So next time I play, there's a lot of things I want to improve on. The first is that I want to turtle until I can build up this Nameless Guard army. The second thing I want to do is make sure I can better exploit these stockpiles. And lastly, I think I would have, if I would have foreseen how this would have gone, I would have definitely picked up a different kind of hero for this army. Probably a archer hero. Okay, we have strategic resources available to us, like Hyperion. So that's good. We're going to wait till we pick up this upgrade. Because once we have that upgrade, these Pearls of Plenty will... Okay, so our player was crushed, which is good for us, because we're probably going for Supremacy Victory. Anyway, we're going to pick up these Pearls of Plenty. And once we get them... Actually, we don't actually want this in 3 turns. Maybe we'll just put it on hold as soon as we're almost there. So I said I wanted an archer hero because it's better with archer units. So let's look at archer heroes. These heroes are very good at... They're decent governors because of the bonuses to trade routes, but they are good archer heroes as well. This is a decent archer unit, but probably not as... Is it as strong as the army health? Actually, this army attack boost is a bit better. The problem with this hero is that it has Techno Lover, which requires Holy Resources, which requires Volters, so we're not getting as much of the hero, I don't think. Itself, although maybe that doesn't matter if it has the better army trait. It's an infantry hero. We have more Wild Walker heroes, actually. Army damage 1 and army boost 1. Let's see how that compares. So this army boost is pretty solid overall, and army damage gives 5% damage and 4 damage. So this is a nice general boost to the army. Let's see what this hero has. Army attack boost 3. 40% attack, that's pretty significant. Most ones we want to pick Real Kata, actually. Despite this hero having more damage in total. This hero has a stronger fighting units on its own, actually. I guess I'll go for the Wild Walker hero. Not actually sure which is best. Yeah, I'm not actually sure. This hero is fast, though, which is nice. This hero is really fast, though. I guess the bonus movement speed is kind of selling me on the the horse archer, or not. Well, it's like a beetle archer, actually. Yeah, let's try her out. And I don't know what weapons we'll choose, but for the skill tree, we're definitely picking bonus movement to make our army faster. I just need to look at these units, and I think I should probably add a movement upgrade to them at some point. Look at my hero. and make sure that she has a decent weapon. This is a decent shield. These are good weapons, but they require titanium or glass steel. We can pick up a glass steel bow. I don't think we can pick up the nice. I mean, there might be an argument to only having heroes of the. Only having cultist heroes, because the cultist heroes can benefit from our very nice item. The stupid thing. The Order of Isiva. This is insane. Like, I was so, I guess, surprised by the power of this item, because I didn't foresee our entire army being so powerful and just wrecking everything. We can't retrofit them outside of our region, which is somewhat disappointing, because everywhere is outside of our region. I'm just going to save this for later. I don't actually have to put everything in industry, in food anymore. Dust. Third time's the charm. Okay, I almost want to delay this. Okay, they possess 50% of colonized regions. That's kind of insane, actually. This would be good. Although we're destroying regions, we're probably not into building roads that much. Also, we can't actually build roads, I don't think, between. I guess it lets us use roads better. But we can always improve our army's movement speeds. I do have to upgrade my hero at some point, give him a better running talisman. Currently, we don't have any great thing to build on our city. I guess we can get this whole hydraulics laboratory. No, never mind. This large-scale aquatic center and this flower factory. But once we've gotten some pills, I think. I'm just going to delay the pills for 3 turns until I've gotten all of those things. Now we need to think about picking up these extra upgrades. To do that, I need 10 glass steel, which I can buy from the marketplace. So it turns out purchasing resources is like very necessary with this faction, because we're just not getting that kind of value out of. Well, I don't know. We're just not getting them from our main region, is what I mean to say. So we really have to buy them if we want them. Which faction is this? This is the Mazari, who are currently doing the best. So we might as well infiltrate their city. And we could just use these armies, which are both sizable, so that's fine, to put pressure on our opponent here. We consider crossing the river, but it's obvious downsides of setting us on fire, so we're not going to do that. And instead start besieging them from here. I guess I can cross the river with this army. And in 4 turns we'll have picked up the Royal Academy, at which point we can go back to getting organized labor. Although the more I think about it, the less I want this Royal Academy. I'd rather pick up a smokehouse. At that point we'll also have the Signal Corps, so that would let us build a bigger army if we want to. Have our initial army be a bit stronger and bigger, and have our smaller army, which follows it, be a bit weaker. But if the lava's still flowing in winter. Well, obviously it would be, but it's sort of, yeah, whatever, never mind. I can just pick up Inspirational Leader, or I can go for more dust. This gives us a bit of everything. Although dust is more required at this point. I guess picking up no negative effects from winters is pretty important. So they want to close borders. That's okay by me. No, it's not, actually. I have to walk through the fire here. Alright, I'm going to accept that damage. And place my army there. So I can besiege them from 2 points. It's kind of important for me to cut off reinforcements here. Oh, okay, I ran out of stockpiles on the city. Let's reactivate that. And let's reactivate the science stockpile. And actually at this point we probably want to just get this organized labor first. Just to make our stockpiles better. We'll have picked up pearls of plenty at that point. And we'll have enough stockpiles here that shouldn't matter too much. Looks like our food has made another big jump, which is great. Let me get this hydromatic laboratory with some titanium, I think. I need 10. I want more titanium to get more nameless guards at some point, but they'll have to wait. Okay. So next turn we're maximizing stockpile output. I do want to keep attacking cities, just so I can get a steady supply of stockpiles. Okay, we're still besieging this place. We've separated this army from this army. I wonder if they're going to attack us. We should probably back off a bit with this army. If we're doing... okay. Seems alright. I don't know if it's correct to stay away here. It might be. Hopefully blue doesn't attack us. That'll be irritating. This reinforcement position is probably really great for us, because we're going to have lots of armies. Because we have so much industry, and just in general having more units in the fight is more important. Getting bonus defense on the units is not bad either. Now this Pearls of Plenty costs quite a lot. But now I think we've picked up this upgrade, so our stockpiles should be quite powerful now. What do they give us? 160 in bonus science. I can't believe, well I can believe, but I missed how powerful these stockpiles could be if you get both upgrades. In my last playthrough, I only picked up this upgrade, and I completely forgot that unskilled labor exists. So, just so you know for future reference, that was a blunder. I think both upgrades are great. And they're obviously great together. And we're just making sure that these stockpiles last for a while. Now, I do want more stockpiles in the near future. You can only get so many. Now, we can buy another food stockpile at some point, so that's nice. We can also pick up a cannery in 2 turns. It's probably quite valuable for us. I think we want to go for some dust production, because it's the only thing our stockpile economy is not covering. Yeah. By getting canneries, we're basically turning industry into food later, or industry stockpiles into food stockpiles. Which is quite strong actually, because of how good food is. We really need our cities to have enough, we really need our city singular to have enough food, because, yeah. How else are we supposed to grow our population? Okay, this should be an easy fight. The question is, do we even need these? We might want them if they give us bonus experience, but losing the action point is a cost, but I don't think I need to engage 2 armies in the near future. I just need to make sure that my army with the lowest units, so this one, the most wounded one. It's pretty cool that wounds are indicated by how many units there are in the fight. But anyway, that army needs to stay back. Okay, these people can go back. Yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. And I think we even gained health during that engagement. On most of our units, really. Cool. So next turn they'll start being in the negative zone there, and we can just crush the city. Probably that's the last green city we've crushed, actually. We have to crush. Then we can think about capturing some of these cities from blue. Blue is the most powerful empire, so cutting them down to size is good. And some of these cities aren't really that well defended. Like, look here. The city has 0 guards, so that's something we're interested in. Also, the more cities we crush, we can just keep these stockpiles eroding, and that's important for us at the moment. And I think I want to get some more borough streets here, actually. Improving our food and science. And also, our capital is very close to level 2. I've been talking about this for a while. Yeah. I hope you all like this playthrough. Like, I've clearly made a bunch of mistakes. It's not like, well, it is instructive, but it's not like instructive as in like a model game or anything. But I've been enjoying it because I've learned so much and because I've made so many mistakes. And also I think it's probably been more entertaining when I'm on the brink of death several times. Actually, these are 2 regions. What was I talking about? This is a border. I think if there's a border, this is a tiny region, actually. Can that be? Okay, we're fighting them there. I think we should go for this. It's just important that we take the engagement reasonably well, and we'll probably come ahead. So, our weakest army goes to the back, as usual. Don't want to lose units unnecessarily, which I definitely have been doing in this playthrough. Alright, so here, we can all move forward. This guy can stay back here, I guess. These guys to move to the side so that we just want to keep infantry here to attack this unit so that this rattling is really annoying. We want our hero to move to the side so that we engage that melee unit and doesn't get close to our archers. This talisman is so incredible. I should have focused fire on my archers. My bad. As you can see, they're not the most experienced general here. We might lose an archer unit because never mind. These units are so powerful that I can't even afford to make micromanagement mistakes. Oof. That was tough. Let me move this way, move this way, move this one up. Now the reason I wanted to get a archer hero for my archer army is because archer heroes have some skills which synergize really well with archers, like giving the bonus range. Which would be nice to have. Yeah. Looks like we're just going to win this battle very easily. By the way, they were forced to engage because once your fortification value on a city reaches 0, your units will take damage each turn the siege goes on. So it's impossible to hold the line forever. Fortunately, they even had to cross this river of fire. This is another reason why archer units can be so absurd in this game. Like, everything gets clustered up so often that just having an army that doesn't have to worry about that and can get attacks off each round consistently is very valuable in itself. And then you add the fact that archer units don't get return fire. Yeah, it just gets out of control really quickly. Actually, we can go there. We should be able to take out this hero, no problem. Yep! Speak of the devil. And by the devil, I mean the damage roll, apparently. Oh, even walking over fire seems okay for the song. Yeah! That was a quick, decisive fight. Even though my hero wants to set himself on fire, apparently. Alright. Gained a level. Probably just going to pick up the bonus movement speed. So we have one army that's a bit more nimble. And we can use this army to attack here. And we set the city on fire, salted the ground, whatever. We're just going to send this hero back, just to refuel their army. Actually, I should send some... I should split off a contingent of units and form it up with my main army. And that way we can make sure we have an 8 stack of units. And we'll send this army back and just make some new units here. Question is, do we want to research anything? I guess we can pick up rare alloys. As we continue to use stockpiles, use and abuse, as it were. I think stockpiles are insane, actually. They really do carry us into late in the game. Unfortunately, they have this annoying sound effect and you have to reapply them all the time. But with the stockpile economy, we can do a lot of work as long as we just put some pressure on at the start of the game. Or as long as we build an army. So as it turns out, this army is powerful enough to just carry us through hell or high water. And we sort of managed to turn it around despite a terrible start. Picking up some extra nameless guards with improved movement. I want to move these units back so I can retrofit them. In the meantime, I just want this army to just come in, clear out this last remaining fortress. I want to wait till I can do something substantial to the empire. I want to capture the city soon, I think. I think it's important for us to, at this point, when we have our economy rolling, start marching forth with tons of armies from our capital and put the screws on this most powerful player. So it turns out, actually, this faction might actually be really good. Inspect. Wow. This what a turnaround series, actually. So I was convinced this is going to be a complete slaughter in our opponent's favor, but yeah, things are never so easy. We're picking up some rare alloys and armor. I guess we can pick up another cannery, why not? Improving the food value of the city is important to us. As it is to keep these stockpiles working. The stockpiles are really the heart of our scientific efforts here. I guess we can get extra manufacturing simulation slots for bonuses. Currently I only have 2 manufacturing villages pacified though, so that's not valuable for us. Something that will be valuable in the future. But really this manufacturing conversion aspect of the game hasn't really panned out for us, and I don't think it's actually that good. Until we have a ton of dust production. But in that case, we just want to buy strategics from the dust. We don't want to waste it here. Let's roll here. Let's form up our armies in this location. We could convert this village. Let's see what it gives us. I guess most importantly, it takes away from the opponent. But we don't want to sell this army. Sorry for the noise outside. Can't always control that. You said this. That sounded weird. I can't always control the noise outside, but I could because I'm a complete psychopath. We're adding more canneries because just extra food is really important for us. And it looks like this stockpile economy is really panning out, weirdly. So yeah, this is something I've learned in these 2 playthroughs, is that stockpiles are actually insanely powerful. Because you get such a reduction, basically. And even if you don't get a reduction, so I think for us, we're getting like maybe 3 stockpiles. Oh, so we're getting no, not 3 stockpiles. We're getting 3 stockpiles. We're getting stockpiles that we shouldn't be getting if we invade other places, and that's really powerful because we're basically producing valuable things out of offensive actions. Oh, here's a mithrite extractor. That's really good, but I wonder if it's just better to purchase some mithrite. Think about it, if we capture this village and we get like 0.2 mithrite a turn, that's not very exciting. And also then we have to take care of this village. Babysitting it is not something I want to do. I could buy mithrite, or actually I could buy Hyperium as well. I know both are good. Yeah. We should make sure that we're producing enough dust each turn. Our food production is doing fine without the workers. So let's just put all the workers into dust. And I think we picked up this upgrade. Where is it? This dust repository, which gives us +4 dust per population on dust. So this is a non-trivial amount of dust, and our stockpile economy is really doing enough to prevent us from... Well, it's doing enough to prevent us from having issues with those resources. So once we pick up this rare armor, we'll be able to produce our next generation nameless guards. Let's just pop down there, pick up these. Probably a bit greedy, go back up. Oh, it was a bit greedy. It was too greedy! With this brigade system, we'll have bonus defense on the units, which is nice because you don't have to invest anything other than science in it. Very cool. Let's search here. hydraulics laboratory. We'll get mercenary corps. I don't really care about that. Okay, we should crush this army. Really, once we start winning a war, it seems like we snowball extremely hard. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I want to do another series where I just make a guide video or something for the cultists. Based on what I've learned here. This is a really great story because I started off like hating this faction, and I've really come to misunderstanding it, and I've really come to understand it properly and really enjoy playing it a lot. And I assume once we have the next tier of upgrades, which we can all buy with gold, we can just move towards closing out the game. Another thing that's really nice about the Cultists is their playstyle is completely different. They just focus on one city and armies, and that's about it. And it's probably boring if every faction was like this, but every faction isn't like this, so it's not. Yeah, I will say that these archer armies are still a bit overpowered in my opinion. What you can counter them, but I assume if I was playing against other human beings, then the archer army would sound sort of like the tier 1 of the meta. Maybe in addition to the sort of wraparound cavalry or fast unit army. Let's just attack this empire already. This should be very easy. Once we've picked up the city, we'll pick up more stockpiles, and that should carry us into the next phase of the game. Stockpiles wise. I should have target fired it, but it doesn't actually matter. My army control has been extremely sloppy in these games, but we're still doing so well, which should give you an indication of the power that is behind the strategy. Wreck him? No. Okay, never mind. Yeah, let me just focus fire here a bit. Make sure I'm actually shooting this guy down. That's probably their most dangerous unit. What kind of shield does he have? Nah, just the normal one. I was wondering if he had like a Mithrite shield or something. Nope. Once we have Mithrite, I like Mithrite and Imperium weapons because they're high tier weapons, but you don't have to. They're available technology era earlier than the second tier Palladium and Adamantium. Unfortunately for us, Mithrite and Imperium are easy to buy on the marketplace. Possibly because the AI sells it. I wonder how the marketplace works if it relies on sales. Because if nobody's selling strategics, which I could see being the case in the multiplayer game, then we might be in trouble with the Cultists. And we have to like get our strategics some other way. But if you have to get our strategics in a different way, then it's kind of bad. I suppose there must be a basic amount generated on the marketplace, otherwise there would be no stockpiles. Okay. And we set another 5th city alight. And as long as we track down the settler, I think we can even wait for the settler to settle and then just get it, and that way get a little value. We want to move this army, but we want to move it so far that our main city is unprotected. If our main city ever falls, that's the end for us. Quite literally. We can just bounce down there though. Now we want to think about... We can get another Pillars of Plenty. In the meantime, we want to think about making a new unit design. I can just edit this design, but also I want to make... I kind of want to make a new design, because I don't want to have to re-upgrade everything. So Hyperion, which bow is better? Hyperion does more damage. No, has more attacks, sorry. So that's probably superior weaponry. But I know that Adamantium Mithrite helmets, sorry, have increased damage on the units, which is more valuable to us than increased health. So I guess we should go, in general, Mithrite helm and then Hyperion, more or less everything else. Let's see about buying some extra resources. Let's pick up 10 here. Okay, we have picked up a little of this. So we make a new design. I don't know what to call these guys. I guess we're going. Well, let's just design them first. Hyperium, Mithrite Helm. These two armors don't actually matter that much. Depends on what's cheap on the marketplace. I think they're both equally expensive. Bonus attack is probably a bit better though for us. And here, bonus initiative is less important than bonus attack. We really want a ton of attack to get those criticals off. Then we definitely want this Order of Isiver as our overpowered upgrade. It's so good. This Regeneration 2 is just kind of filthy, and bonus movement speed as well. So since they are Guardians, and the Queen is the centerpiece of our empire, I think. Although we don't make... I don't really know enough about the lore to make a lore video or something on that. This is not Vati video. So let's build some of those elite units. Excellent. So we'll have a bunch of them in 2 turns. Then we can also pick up another borough. Wait, have we gotten a level 3 district city center? Oh, that looks... I don't know how much different it looks. Let's click away. Cool, so we fully upgraded our city center. That's great. Can we do the same for the Altar of Auriga? This is a level 2, this is a level 2, this is a level 2, this is a level 1. So I guess if we place a Borough Street over here, that should be good. I really like this building out a super powerful city concept. It's really awesome. Although I personally would like to play more of an economical game, I can also appreciate some good warfare. This faction almost reminds me a bit of the Hisho, like the being very tall in the sense that you rely heavily on one base for a long time, and then also having a powerful military in the middle of the late game. And I'm sure if I optimize it, I could do a lot better. It's just that the starters are a bit precarious, mostly because preachers suck. They're just terrible units. Yeah. And also, well, we fortunately get access to a very powerful hero unit to start off the game as a governor. And yeah, the cultist heroes are spectacular governors. So like you want them in with every other empire. Okay, the Fomorians, they're on the sea. Hopefully we'll play with the sea in another episode. Somewhere beyond the sea. Okay, I can't sing, but like, you get the idea. Let's pick this up. Let's pick up some extra glass steel as well, and we should be able to make 2 more Queen's Guard, or at least 1 more. Yeah, 1 more is good. And these units should be powerful enough to trash everything else in the game at the moment, I think. Yeah. So in this game I've developed a new well, I don't know if it's new, but I've developed a strategic approach to capturing or to playing the cultists. I do definitely want my armies to come back here so they can refuel. I definitely want to pick this up at some point. Maybe I'll pick it up next turn, these armies. It should be really easy. And once I've played that, I'll just get a few extra stockpiles. We really want to put all of our workers in the dust. Or food, or both. I don't think we have any food stockpiles active, no. Okay, they're closing borders with us, which probably means imminent conflict. We need to avoid being at war with too many factions at once. We'll be overloaded, because we can only have so many armies. I guess we have an easier time defending ourselves, because we only have to look after one city. And babysitting multiple cities is really a pain in the ass. I guess I can pick up this for bonus food on city. That's very impressive. This would be good if we had volcanic cities, but we can never have them, so no. This is okay. Although I guess the science one is a bit better. Let's make sure our city has the necessary industry for the next couple of turns. Oof, using up stockpiles is so exciting. What I do want to do is, at the market, we can buy extra food stockpiles. But at the same time, I do want to buy strategics. I believe our Nameless Guards cost a bit more. How much do they cost, actually? Queen's Guard? Not the Nameless Guard, but the Queen's Guard. They cost more Hyperium than Mithrite. So, we do want a solid amount of Hyperium. Yeah. I think I'll just get another Queen's Guard. Although, and then I want to get a Pearl of Plenty, I think, and another Cannery. So this army is looking very strong. Let me just move here, just quickly capture this. And I think that should be the end of green. So buy green. It's not easy being green, but yeah, it's funny, instead of conquering this region, it's just dead space now, because the cult is pretty hardcore. Doesn't take any prisoners. I want to make an army purely composed of Queen's Guard for the next episode, and really see if we can exploit that really powerful military force. Just to, I think, crush most of Blue's territory. I want to make sure that I don't leave myself too open to an attack by red. Maybe I should just pick up truces so I have a panic button. Okay, the Empire of the Broken Lords has been completely wiped out, which is good. Well, I have no idea how that happened. I'm not responsible. I reject your accusations. But anyway, let's make sure we have enough to get another upgrade. I think we should get 18. We want enough glass steel as well. That's really important. Okay, now we go back to Hyperium. If we can get any more. No, we can't. Okay, that's fine. We have... I think we can get 2 extra Queen's Guard. Move the pearls further down. So we're going to have an 8 stack, or a 7 stack of these very quickly. In the meantime, we have to upgrade these units for better movement. But we don't have to, actually. We could think about converting this village. Yeah. And this army, just sell that for some quick cash. Now we could retrofit all of these units, but it would take us too much time. This is what I talked about not wanting the retrofit. Dust-wise, it's way cheaper to make armies anew than have to replace everything. It's such a pain. We should be able to take the city very quickly, but I think we want to keep our infiltrator there. Okay, yeah, definitely murderous. I'm lustful for murder. That's definitely who I am. You better be afraid. Let me put up these. Just enough so I can get 1 more Nameless Guard. And then we'll have, Queen's Guard. Give them this cool name, I don't even call them by their cool name. Ugh. Now the question is, which hero is better equipped to command this army? This hero has more levels, and thus well, he's going to pick up this rallying call, which is very important later on. This hero is also important, but currently the skills don't... No, they're not the best, or they're not sufficiently good. Let's reassign this hero to this to this army, to assign her to that army. And then we have some reserves here. Could be like support. Actually, these Nameless Guards might as well just go in our main city even. Yeah. While we're on the topic, we might as well pick up a food stockpile. Not on the topic of food stockpiles. Yeah, the stockpile economy is obscene, and something I definitely undervalued initially, but I've kind of discovered now how good it is. This is the main thing that's really pulling us through in this game. really, part of the reason why the cultists even work is because the stockpile mechanic is somehow a bit broken. With these stockpiles, we're going to boost our economy all the way up. I feel like one of the things that doesn't work that well about the Forgotten, for instance, is that they can't abuse the stockpile mechanic that well. Or not at all. I might even keep these 5 nameless guards here, just to make sure my city doesn't ever get ambushed. We can always move them down, pick up a couple of new towns. Speaking of which, I probably do want to pick up this bonus to influence. So we're searching for the word there. I do want to pick up this bonus to influence because now that I'm spending more on. Okay, Voltus has been defeated. I had no part of that, by the way. That's all them. Now that what was I saying? Yeah, now that we're spending more on picking up these villages, we definitely want to think about purchasing. What was I saying? We definitely want to think about purchasing an improvement for our influence there. That took a long time. Sorry for bearing with that. Now, once we picked up this Queen's Guard, I think we can just wage war on the enemy very easily. Have we upgraded this to level 3? No, not yet. This is still level 2. Oh, I don't know if we can upgrade this district. No, we can. We just put something there. There. Easy enough. Now, the Queen's Guard should be assembled next turn. And that should be good enough to cleave up into this territory, stop besieging some blue cities. Stop blue from winning the game, give us some more stockpiles, though we need it less desperately at this point. We have so many stockpiles already. Could think about picking up luxuries with our extra dust production. Yeah, again, like the sort of dust economy plan doesn't really work out at the start of the game, but really works out later in the game. Hello, I've come to kill you. What's up? Let's make this city reinforcements so we can get some more levels. And then, bitch. Wait. Okay, we can use this army as a second attack army. Retrofit them. Make sure their movement is higher. Alright. Ideally, I'd like to have my hero tank, or... Again, sadly there are no cultist ranged heroes, that would be ideal. What the cultist hero benefits from a lot is the fact that we get that awesome talisman. What the ranged hero benefits from is synergy with our most powerful armies. And I'm not actually sure which is best. Probably getting a ranged hero earlier, because it lets us get extra range on these Queen's Guard, or these are nameless guards. So that would be better in the long run, having that perk. Although having extra reinforcement positions is important if we have multiple armies. And that, again, that trinket is insane. Fucking stupid. Yeah, I sort of can't believe how comfortable this is, considering how hopelessly lost I felt at the start. I wonder if secretly cultists are kind of overpowered or something. Like, so to be fair, their faction mechanic of converting villages is garbage. I hate it. I guess let's walk up here for hero. Don't really care about pulls too much at this point. We have enough stockpiles. And we're going to move this army up here. I think we're just going to keep this army down here. Have to declare war to enter their territory, but we can move the army around, just capture a few extra villages. Sell those for some extra dust. So definitely we'll use to make sure we have food stockpiles in our main city for the next couple of turns. Okay, thanks again for joining me for another Endless Legend session with the Cultists. Definitely a faction that surprised me. And I think I've had a lot of fun learning how to play them properly. And maybe I'll make it, at some point in the end, I'll just sum up what I learned about how to play them. But basically, it turns out you need to build up a powerful Nameless Guard army, and once you have that, you can get your stockpile economy rolling, and that really does a ton for you, or did a ton for us. I think I probably want extra dust, although I can think about putting everyone in science. I think just keeping almost everyone in dust is important, so we can just fund the stockpiles and resources we need. So basically build up, the strategy for us was build up population of main army, get some Nameless Guards. The road to figuring that out was a bit bumpy, like we almost lost the war, which would be disastrous for us, because we only have one city to lose. And once we have this Queen's Guard army, just killing cities gives us a ton of industry and food, science stockpiles, which we don't have any of them because we haven't killed a city recently. And it really fuels our main systems. Fuels our main systems industry, fuels our science output, and means that we can carry ourselves very nicely into the endgame. So join me next time as I face my strongest opponent, Blue. And I think, actually, I'm kind of optimistic that I can win this game. Let's see how that pans out. Hopefully it's no longer a bumpy ride. Thanks for joining me, and see you next time.